All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back and Happy New Year. We are very excited to be back in business. I hope that everyone had a safe and healthy holiday break, and that you were able to get some much needed rest. So today we are going to be doing a special presentation focusing on the new year, as well as giving you a little bit more information about USG's well-being program in 2023. Some changes were made to that program recently, so we're excited to be able to highlight those. Today, I am going to be joined by a couple different people, and I'll actually turn things over to Cheryl, who will kick us off with our introduction and talk about our objectives for the day.
Thank you, Ryan. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Virtual First Thursdays. And Happy New Year to everyone. We hope you had a safe and healthy holiday winter break. And we're excited today to host the first of many Virtual First Thursdays in the new year. I'm the director for the Office of Employee Development and Wellness Services. If this is your first time joining us, we host these sessions every first Thursday of the month. And I am joined by Ryan Smith, our Wellness Program Administrator, and a special guest today is Lee Ritchie from the USG Wellbeing Program, the Health and Wellness Wellbeing Specialist with Virgin Pulse, and she will be presenting on the exciting program that's being offered through the USG Wellbeing. I want to just quickly talk about the objectives for the new year as we acknowledge that this is the start of the new year. We wish everyone certainly an opportunity to start off on a good note, and it's certainly appropriate to talk about setting goals and objectives in the new year. And so for today, we want to cover some items to focus on specifically addressing how you might learn some tips for making SMART goals. We want to discuss strategies for achieving those goals and talk about the programs that we offer through Employee Development Wellness Services, EDWS, our programs and resources, and give you some information on some of the upcoming events. And then we'll close today's session turning it over to our special presenter, Lee Ritchie, who will talk about the USG Wellbeing Rewards Program. We will be recording this session, so there will be an opportunity to follow up with everyone to send you the recording, and we'll invite you to also complete a brief survey to give us some feedback. We invite you to use the chat box if you have any questions or comments. We will monitor throughout the session today, so feel free to enter your comments or questions, and certainly we'll save some time at the end for the last opportunity to address any questions, but there may be pauses in between that you may also have some comments and questions addressed as well. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Ryan, who will talk about the SMART goals. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. So as Cheryl mentioned, we're going to really be focusing on goal setting today. And the goals that we talk about are going to be broad. Of course, we are, focused on health and wellness, but you'll be able to use any of the tips we talk about today to apply to a goal that you set anywhere in your life, regardless of what the topic may be. So when it comes to types of goals, as I mentioned, today's focus is going to be on wellness goals. And when we say wellness, we're not just talking about nutrition, we're not just talking about exercise, we're talking about all the different components that contribute to your personal wellness. These factors may be different from person to person, but when we talk about wellness, we are generally talking about all of the different things that you see on screen here, and potentially even more. So it may be emotional well-being, financial well-being, physical well-being, intellectual well-being, so on and so forth. The goal is to talk about things that contribute to your overall state of well-being. And as I mentioned, it's a broad topic, it includes many components, And these strategies and tips will work for any type of goal that you want to set. So, regardless of what it is that you want to work on, these tips today will help you with that. So you may have heard of SMART goals before. If you haven't, we're definitely going to talk through those today because that is sort of the foundation of our goal setting approach. When we make a SMART goal, SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. And we'll talk in more detail about what each one of those means. But essentially, when you're making a goal, we want to make sure that it has certain attributes or qualities to it to make it a sort of gold standard. A good goal will be able to be all of these things, and we can use this system to help make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success whenever we create a goal. So specific means it focuses on exactly what you'll do in your goal. This one's pretty straightforward. Whenever we're making a goal about, let's say, physical activity, for example, we're usually going to be specific with what we're focusing on. Measurable means that we need a way to measure our success. How can we know if we have succeeded at our goal if there's not a concrete way for us to track or say, yes, I did meet what I was trying to do, or no, I didn't quite reach the goal that I had set. Attainable is making sure that your goal is realistic. I know I've got personal experience with sometimes setting a goal that might be just a little out of reach or a little too far for me to be able to get to. Attainability is important. We want to make a goal that is realistic for us. Relevant is making sure that the goal aligns with your long-term goal. So if your long-term goal, for example, let's say it's to um, let's say that you're into biking, for example. Maybe you like to ride a bicycle, and your long-term goal is to be able to ride in a long bike trip. Maybe it's going from one city to another. It's a big goal you've set up. You would want to make sure that your short-term goals to get you there will help lead to the long-term one. So you might start by just doing some simple bike rides around the neighborhood, and then you might progress to maybe riding your bike a longer distance or going to a park and things like that. So just make sure that those little goals feed into your larger long-term goal. And then finally, the T of SMART is to make the goal time-based. Timelines are really helpful for keeping things structured. I'm sure at your job, you may have been on a project before. You're probably on some projects right now where there are little checkpoints along the way. Time-based structure is really helpful in keeping us on track and keeping us focused. So why are we using SMART goals? What's so special about this system? So SMART goals help make better and more structured goals. And studies have reported that people who make goals and record them are actually more successful in meeting their goals. And I want to emphasize that record them part because a lot of people may make goals in their head. And if you're someone with a good memory, that may work generally pretty well for you. But writing them down is pretty powerful. You'd be surprised. Whenever we write it down, even if it's just on a sticky note, something you maybe put on your computer monitor, or you might type it in an app on your phone, something about that sort of makes the goal more real. It's not just floating around in your head. You have recorded it, you have written it down, and now you have that reminder of what it was that you set out to do. So, whatever your New Year goal may be, or a goal that you make at any point in your life, I really encourage you to write it down, really write it into reality to help you be more successful and stay on track with it. So let's set some example health goals. And if you've got any questions about this as we go, please make use of the chat box feature as Cheryl mentioned. We'll be happy to address any questions or comments that may appear there. So here's an example health goal. Let's say that in the new year, maybe you want to focus on nutrition and you say, I want to eat healthier. So this is an okay start for our goal. We know generally what we're trying to do. It's relevant, right? Like we're trying to establish a health goal. We say, I want to eat healthier, but it's not very specific. It's a little vague. So let's get a little more descriptive with it. So I will eat more vegetables. So now we're saying to eat healthier, I plan to eat more vegetables. So we've begun making it more specific, but it's not very measurable. How can we say at the end of the goal if we've succeeded or not? I will eat more vegetables just lacks that measurability. So then we add a little more to it. I will eat more vegetables with dinner every day. So we've added something we can measure. We can definitely check, have I had vegetables with dinner every day? So it's specific, measurable, and relevant. But if this is a new goal for you, maybe you're not someone who eats a lot of vegetables, having more vegetables with dinner every single day of the week may not be very attainable. Now, this will change a little bit from person to person, right? Depending on what you feel comfortable with. But if you're just starting off going from zero all the way up to having it every day of the week, that can be a little tough. So we modify it a little bit and we say, I will eat more vegetables with dinner 3 times a week. So we've added a number there. We can specifically measure that. And I think 3 times a week, this is just an example, of course, is a little more attainable. Now, for you, that number may be 5 times a week, it may be 2 times a week. That's entirely up for you to decide. But ask yourself that question, what can I realistically set as my initial goal? And remember that you can always modify that goal later if you find that it's maybe too easy and you're meeting it very quickly. That's a good thing. Then you can just move that goalpost a little bit. So this one is specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant, but it's not time-based. So the last thing that we do is we say, this week, I will eat more vegetables with dinner 3 times a week. So that last one is a little subtle, but it's important. We want to specify what's the period of time where this goal is happening. Is it going to be just this week? Is it going to be this month? And you can think about how long you want your goal to run for. It may be a shorter term goal. It could just be a day. Maybe there's a day where you want to reduce your screen time or you want to get in more walking steps. Those can be short term goals that just are within a day. You may expand it to a couple of days or a week or a month. That's entirely up to you, but make sure you're specific with how long you plan to work on this goal for. So that final example there brings together all those different attributes, and that is what we would consider a SMART goal. So we went from I want to eat healthier down to this week, I will eat more vegetables with dinner 3 times a week. And we can see how much more specific that is and how much easier it will be to track our success. These are just some other example goals here to give you an idea of what they might look like. So a physical activity based one might be I will go for a 30-minute walk 2 times this week. If you're working on hydration, we can get specific with how much water are we going to drink. So I will drink 2 24-ounce water bottles every day this week. Maybe you're working on mindfulness or meditation and you want to schedule a 10-minute meditation break before lunch, Monday through Friday. Or you could say, I will cook a healthy meal on Thursday night this week. So that's just one night, but you've specifically said, I plan to do it at this time. So be specific, be intentional, and try to schedule these things out. It will help you stick to them. And speaking of sticking with your goals, here are a few more tips to help you stay on track. Like I mentioned before, writing your goal down can help you be more successful. Studies have shown this, so I really want to encourage people to do that. Again, it can be a sticky note, it can be an app on your phone, whatever helps you see it and be reminded of it. Number 2 is tell a friend or share your goal on social media. The goal here is not to brag or anything like that, but it's to pull someone else in, let them know that you are working on this. This can be helpful in a variety of ways. They may be able to potentially support you or assist you, and it can reduce resistance if there's someone who maybe isn't aware that you're trying to move more or eat better or things like that. Just letting people know. Plus, it can be fun to share with people so that they can be excited for you and your progress. And that kind of folds into number 3, which is have an accountability buddy. If you've got someone in your life who you can share your goal with, who can help be that accountability buddy, meaning that they help remind you, they help you perform this healthy thing. For example, I know a lot of people on the Atlanta campus have walking buddies where they want to stretch their legs, take a walking break, and they've got someone that they meet up with to take that walk with them. Having more people involved helps you stay on track. There might be a day where maybe you're not feeling as motivated, and your accountability buddy can help be that little extra push that gets you to stick to your goal. And then finally, I really recommend scheduling reminders in your calendar or using sticky notes. I know most of us use our Outlook calendar throughout the day to help us stay on task. And you can put little notifications in there to just pop up and remind you to have a drink of water or to go stretch your legs and take a little walking break. Even if it's just down the hall or to the water cooler, getting up and moving a little bit more. It might be a reminder to take a lunch break. I know sometimes some of us get busy and we may not remember to stop and eat. So use these reminders on your calendars or have sticky notes on your monitor. I know I frequently have things both related to work tasks as well as health reminders that I want to set for myself. So make use of these tools. The more that you build these things into your life, the more likely you are to remember your goal and to stay on track with it. And speaking of staying on track, we also want to talk about getting back on track. First, don't give up. It's okay if you don't succeed on your first try. The worst thing we can do is if we don't quite meet a goal, if we just quit entirely, then we'll never be able to find that success with it. You can reassess your goal and identify your barriers, which are the things that made it difficult for you to meet or to find your success. You can then brainstorm ways to overcome the obstacles and then rework your goal and try again applying what you learned. So come up with a list of things that you think might improve your chances and then experiment. There's no perfect way to do this. It can be a little bit of trial and error sometimes, and that's okay. The important part is that you're focusing on working towards improving yourself and that health goal. So real briefly, I want to cover a couple EDWS tools and resources that can help you with your goals, and then we'll actually turn over to Lee to talk about a major resource through USG Wellbeing. So we do offer health coaching through our office. You can schedule a health coaching appointment by emailing edws@gsu.edu. We can help you work on any of your health-related goals. Whatever it is that you want to focus on, we'll be able to coach you through it, help you set SMART goals, set up a system of reminders, and try to help you stay on task. So definitely shoot us an email if you have something you'd like help working on in the new year. We also offer faculty and staff assistance. You can schedule an appointment by emailing FASA@GSU or calling the phone numbers on the screen there. The emergency number is available 24/7 for crisis situations, and that's 365 days out of the year. So if you're experiencing a crisis or an issue, you can call that number. Faculty and Staff Assistance is an employee assistance program designed to help support you through any issues you may be facing, whether they're related to work or things outside of work. It's a resource that's there for you. Similarly, there is KeyPro, the external employee assistance program. You can visit usg.mylifeexpert.com and use the company code USG Cares, or you can call to schedule an appointment and they can help assist you with whether it's a financial issue. You may be dealing with something that maybe you want to talk to someone about something that is a counseling related thing or a mental health issue. KeyPro can be a great resource to start with. They can get you set up, connect you with the right people, and help you out. And then finally, we do offer a tobacco cessation program, and you can learn more by emailing edws@gsu.edu. And I will actually pause here. We do have another slide focusing on some upcoming events that we have to share, but I'd like to turn things over to Lee first so that she can talk a little bit about the USG Wellbeing Rewards Program, and then we will wrap up back on our side with our upcoming events. So Lee, I will kick things over to you. Let me stop presenting real quick.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much. Let me see if I can share my screen. So hello, everybody. Thanks for having me today. I'm Lee Ritchie, Health and Wellbeing Specialist from Virgin Pulse, dedicated to the USG Wellbeing Program. So in thinking about New year, I know everybody's setting goals and New Year's resolutions are abound, but just wanted to show you, tell you a little bit about the USG Wellbeing Program, and then show you some of the resources available through the Virgin Pulse platform that the Wellbeing Program kind of operates on. But if you've participated on the platform in the past and then logged in anytime since January 1, you will notice that it has a slightly different look and feel when you log in. So navigating around here, the USG Wellbeing Program really is intended to give employees resources, tools, materials, information, programs to help you improve any area of well-being that you are looking to improve. So it is not a bikini contest by any stretch of the imagination. There are many areas of well-being, and this program is designed with the intent of giving you those resources to support any area of well-being that you want to improve. So with that, they are also offering this. If you are an employee or spouse enrolled in a USG healthcare plan, you have the ability to earn points, which help you reach levels, which turn into well-being credit, which is actual dollars that get paid out on your paycheck. So the USG Wellbeing Program year kicked off on October 1 of 2022 and runs through September 30th of 2023. So you have kind of a full year to participate, accumulate points, reach levels, and whatever you earn credit-wise then gets paid out on your last November paycheck. So you're encouraged to participate throughout the year, and then those points turn into dollars on your paycheck. So if you are looking for ways to participate in the program, under the when you first log in to the homepage, these are your content cards. We'll look at those in a second. But if you want to dive right into ways to earn, you come under the home and rewards page. So this kind of lays out all of the different activities that you have the ability to earn points throughout the program year. They're laid out in different way. They're kind of listed in alphabetical order, but you can kind of see the steps you can take. So the awarding for if you're trying to get more active throughout the year, you can log your activity either by syncing a wearable device, or you can log your steps manually. We'll look at that in a second. There are challenges you can participate. I know Ryan touched on coaching that you can do through Georgia State, but you can also participate in coaching through Virgin Pulse to get that kind of accountability buddy, set you up for success. There are some USG specific type rewards that you can participate in. This is an Anthem test user, so you see point abilities for participating in Livongo, which is the diabetes weight management, diabetes prevention, and diabetes management program, and beyond. So if you're looking for ways to participate and earn points throughout the year, this is your giant list to do so. As you participate in these activities, you are going to accumulate points. And this year, the system, if you've participated in years past, the program was set up as an action rewards style program where you did X action and you received Y dollars in well-being credit for doing it. So for example, if you did the health assessment survey, completed that, it's a lifestyle questionnaire, it can be found under the health tab. So you can take the health assessment survey, great place to start. If you're wondering, new year, what areas of health or well-being could I maybe focus on as I'm setting these goals? The health assessment survey is a great place to start. Answer questions about yourself and what you're doing. And then at the end, you'll get a health score, and it'll show you areas of your health that are looking really good and areas that could use some improvement. So as you're setting up those goals or thinking about what you want to work on throughout the year, it'd be a great place to start to kind of give you some jumping off points of areas that could use some improvement. So if you participated in that survey in the past, it was worth $25 well-being credit. Now it is worth 5,000 points for completing. So as you accumulate points, you're going to reach levels. At each level you reach, there is a well-being credit tied to reaching that level. So at 5,000 points, you earn $25 in well-being credit. Well, I just said that the health assessment survey is worth 5,000 points. So right off the bat, you've reached level 1, you've got $25 well-being credit in your bank. So this points and levels chart kind of shows you with the levels how much you are going to earn once you reach that level. And then this over on the left-hand side of the screen is going to show you how many total credit you have accumulated. So you can earn up to that $200 max. So if you are an employee and a spouse, and your spouse are both enrolled in a USG healthcare plan, that's $400 on your paycheck, which is wonderful. So yeah, we talked about if you were trying to get more physically active throughout the program year, or maybe you were gifted an activity tracker over the holiday season, you can sync it to the platform to get credit for all of your hard-earned steps each day. So you will sync that device under this more topic and then devices and apps. So that's where you'll go in and sync your device. If you don't see your device listed, there's I know some people have said that their specific device isn't on here, but what that device does sync to is either their Apple Health or their Samsung Health app. So you can then sync that health app over to the platform. So that's kind of a hands-off way to get credit for your steps each day. But you can also update those stats manually. So if you have a low tech device or you don't want to sync something to the platform, you can go in and track those stats daily. So for steps, you can enter in from your low tech device the number of steps that you're doing, or you can go in and track any workouts that you've done. So you can find an activity, or maybe you did something like riding a stationary bike. That doesn't, I know a lot of wearables are on wrists, so they're not necessarily tracking movement that's happening with your legs. You could add it there. But you find your activity that you've done. Let's say we did CrossFit for 20 minutes. Why is my thing not typing? Let's try now. I had hit number lock. 20. What is it? Okay. 2. I don't know why it's not doing this. Okay. We're going to use the toggle for 20 minutes. It converts to steps. You save it and then it tracks. So you earn your points that way. So you're going to see that progress bar tick up. Another great tool to utilize, and it also counts for points towards this program year, is tracking your healthy habits. So this is a fully customizable list of habits that you deem important that you want to track each day. So when you come to home and healthy habits, you're going to see the healthy habits that you are currently tracking. The system defaults to, I think, 10 it starts you out with, but it's a fully customizable list. So you can hit browse all and then look at healthy topics that are important to you. And then you can toggle these on and off. So they're just kind of gentle reminders, things that you can track each day, figure out what's important to you to kind of keep you as you're building those habits and working towards those SMART goals that you've set. You can kind of check in on yourself and say, oh, have I taken the time to take 5 minutes to exercise today? Got up and stretch, whatever is important to you. Check my, or tons of different topics. So did I save today? Did I, I'm trying to clear out the clutter in my house. So did I take time to remove something from off my shelf? So tons of different things that you can do. And along those lines, you also have mentioned the coaching earlier, where you can work with a Virgin Pulse telephonic coach. And you get 1,000 points per session, up to 6 sessions for working with those. So that's all under the health tab, coaching, schedule a session. They're typically 20 minutes in time. I have my personal coaching appointment tomorrow. You do get the same coach each time, so you can kind of build a rapport with him or her and create that communication, but you kind of pick an area that you want to focus on, and then schedule a call, pick a time that works for you. That's where the health coaching is. And then journeys are not, this is our digital coaching program. You can earn 500 points per journey up to 3 times per quarter. So if you did journeys in Q4 at the beginning of the program year, that clock starts over and you can start earning points for your journeys again. But these are self-guided courses, things that you can check back for daily to get a daily tip of the day, something to try as you're working towards building a healthy habit. So they all have different lengths of time to complete. A lot of them are 10 days, but some are 14, 21, it just depends, but picking something that you want to focus on. So my one that I've got going on this test user is make time for play. So you're checking in each day, reading the tip, something you want to try. Love it telling somebody, just giving that personal boost of letting somebody know. If the tip of the day isn't speaking to you, you can say, show me a different one. But if it's something that resonates, they only take, roughly 30 seconds to a minute to read. It will do. And then as you get to the midpoint of each journey, it's going to actually suggest a healthy habit to add to your list of healthy habits to track. That'll kind of guide that process. And then at the end of coming back each day, reading your tip, you'll get 500 points for completing it. We talked about the health assessment survey, a great place to start. We have a nutrition guide and a sleep guide if those are areas of your health and well-being that you want to improve on this year. The My Care checklist, if you're like, hey, what do I need to do in order to make sure I'm up to date on all my preventive care screenings? This is a great guide for you. This auto populates with checkups that are based on your age and gender. So it'll populate with those age and gender specific items. And then it'll also populate, if you complete the health assessment survey and you self-identified as being diabetic, it'll give you updates on when you should be getting your A1C checked and things of that nature. So it populates primarily based on your age and gender, but then also any self-entered information from that health assessment survey, and give you guidance on how often you should be doing those. If you complete 3 preventive care checkups in a calendar or in the program year, everybody will have at least 3, a flu shot, an annual physical, and then a dental screening or dental cleaning rather. You can earn 1,000 points for doing those. So those are all able to be plugged in there. So it's a great place to keep you up to date on that. And then circling back to the rewards page, we do have the opportunity to redeem points via voucher this year. If you attend any of the USG Wellbeing Money Monday or Wellbeing Wednesday sessions, for example, attending those webinars are worth 250 points. So you will be given a voucher code at the end of those sessions and in a follow-up email. You will then navigate to the rewards page on the platform or via the app and hit redeem a voucher, type in your voucher code there and hit submit, and those points are automatically uploaded. If you are looking for any points that you have earned either this year or in the past, that is under the My Earnings tab. So you can switch to yearly, monthly, quarterly, pick where you want to look and see any past rewards there. So if we do yearly for 2022, you want to see what you earned last year, My Rewards, and see those credits there. I think I saw a question in the chat about Livongo. So let me figure out how I can find that credit, or Brian, you can tell me what the question was, because I'm struggling to figure
I
out the
can read
chat.
that for you.
Great.
The question was, how can I get my Livongo to connect to Virgin Pulse for the rewards to register?
Great. So fantastic question. We are still working out a few glitches with that Livongo credit file. The short answer is there is nothing you need to do in order to link your Livongo account to your Virgin Pulse account. That is all done via file feed. So you're participating in Livongo, doing the program as it's intended. Livongo then sends us a file weekly, some monthly, that are going to award you points for those various activities. We noticed yesterday that some of the codes that they were sending us were failing. They set them up incorrectly. There were some system reading issues. So if it's one for registering, that was one of the codes that was broken. We are working on getting all of those codes updated and those files resent. So please just note that your points are coming. But if you're wondering if any points, some of these things this is something to call out on the rewards checklist. If it's something you can earn for weekly, sometimes the green check mark can be misleading. So especially something like the attending a Money Monday or Wellbeing Wednesday, you're never going to see a green check mark there. And I'm not sure if, since the Livongo weighing in weekly, if you're going to see a green check mark, because once they're sending us a file, you're technically in a new week earning for it. So I'm not sure that you're going to be able to see the green check marks or not for those. So your best opportunity is to go to this My Earnings tab and go to monthly 2022 and look at each month and see if you've gotten points, because they'll show up as a line item, weigh in and the date. If you're still having issues, I'll drop, as soon as I can get to the chat, my email into the chat, and we'll get you set up there. If you do not, I was able to read that really quickly. If you do not have your health insurance, you have to be enrolled in a USG sponsored health plan in order to earn the $200 well-being credit. If you are a benefit eligible employee that you are able to register on the platform and participate in all of these activities, most of the activities, but you don't have the carrot of earning the $200 well-being credit. So you have to be enrolled in a healthcare plan to get that. Apologies. But I know we're over time and I'm still rambling. Was there anything else in the chat, Ryan, that I missed?
At the moment, I do not see any other. Oh, here's another one that just came through. Um, it was if you don't carry health insurance with GSU, can you still receive the cash prize, which I believe you just answered.
Yep. Have to be enrolled in the USG healthcare plan.
And then I see there is a question about was the session recorded? And the answer is yes, the session has been recorded. So if you saw anything in particular that you want to do on this platform that Lee walked us through, you'll be able to pull this recording back up. We're going to send it out via email and you can go side by side with her and walk through those steps.
Awesome. I was able to figure out how to get back to the chat box while I was sharing. So I'll put my email address into the chat as well. If you ever have any credit questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to me directly. And I'm happy to help walk you through it. We'll leave it there for today.
All right, and I will jump back here and we'll wrap up with just some upcoming events we have. I did see another question about some points that sounds like they were missing, so that would be an email you
Yes, Alana,
situation,
please.
right?
Yep, please email me and I can reach out to AIG, confirm the appointment, and put in a ticket for those points. So not a problem. Just shoot me an email.
Right. Well, we'll just end here by highlighting some of our upcoming events. Thank you again, Lee, for sharing all of that. I know that information is great for me as well as we navigate kind of the updated platform. Really excited about that new point system and all the ways for us to stay healthy with USG in the new year. And just to highlight a couple of our upcoming events, on January 9th, we've got a new event we'll be running this year called a Mindful Moment. So this is going to be just a short 10 to 15 minute segment on select Mondays each month where we'll be taking a moment to have a mindfulness break. Mindfulness differs from meditation slightly. It's similar in some ways, but basically we're going to be leading you through a mindfulness exercise where you'll have the opportunity to work on being more present, just being more aware of kind of your surroundings and the situation. It's a really good opportunity to just take a break from work and really hone in on improving mindfulness. So we'll be trialing that this Monday, January 9th. If you want to check out the first session of that, we're excited about it. And that'll be from 12 to 12:15 p.m. We're going to include registration links for all of these events in a follow-up email later today. On Thursday, January 12th, we'll have a live cooking demonstration from 12 to 12:30. So if one of your SMART goals for the new year is related to nutrition, I highly encourage you to check that out and attend. We'll be sharing a new healthy recipe with everyone. On Friday, January 13th, we'll have a virtual guided meditation session from 12 to 12. That should actually read 12 to 12:30. I apologize for that. We'll correct that when we send out the PowerPoint. We'll have a diabetes prevention program info session on Tuesday, January 18th from 12 to 1 p.m. So our diabetes prevention program, we open up a cohort for that once a year. It is a year-long diabetes prevention program. This is actually our fourth year that we're going to be running it. So we've been doing it for a while now. It's been very successful. So if you are interested in that, really want to recommend you check out that info session. We'll be going over all the details and you can learn about how you can apply to be part of this year's program. And then on Tuesday, January 25th, Cheryl will be leading a snack and share support group from 12 to 1 p.m. So that'll be an opportunity to just de-stress a little bit, share what's on your mind, and talk with other people at the university. So those are some upcoming events. As I mentioned, we'll email out those registration links when we include a copy of today's presentation. And finally, just some how to contact us information. Our regular office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. For emergency assistance, we do offer that crisis phone number we shared earlier in the presentation. Again, that's available 24/7 if you're experiencing a crisis situation. Our office location is 75 Piedmont Ave. We are on the third floor in Suite 360. We can be reached by phone at 404-413-3342, or you can email us at edws@gsu.edu. And our website is also listed there. We are a unit of HR, so you can find us on the main HR website. So I am going to turn my attention to the chat here real quick and see if there's any additional questions we can answer before we wrap up today. All right, and again, we did record today's session, so we're going to send a copy of that out so you can review any of the information, or you can share it with a colleague who may not have been able to attend today. I just want to thank everyone for their time and for attending today's session, and thank you again to Lee for taking time out of her day to come and talk to us more about the USG Wellbeing Rewards Program. With that being said, please keep an eye out in your email for the follow-up information as well as a link to a short survey. We'll just be asking you for some general feedback on what you thought of today's presentation. We're always looking for ways we can improve our programs. And if you've got any suggestions or ideas for future programs, we'd love to hear those as well. So keep an eye out in your email. Again, Happy New Year, everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.